Welcome to the Tutule show, where we invite you to take a seat and stay a while as we discuss the rise of Afrobeats. From African Giant by Burna Boy to Blackest King by Beyoncé, there is no doubt that Afrobeats has taken over airwaves and is finally being recognized globally for the diverse and powerful music that it is. In this episode, we're going to discuss the lines between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation when it comes to our art, our history, and our music. We'll also explore the most subtle ways in which African artists are finally being recognized globally. Or is it that they are being exploited? Has this grand exposure of our music scene created more opportunities for African artists or not? This is the Tutule show. My name is Seema, I'm your host. Let's get into it. First of all, welcoming the first all-female panel on our show. With the lady on my left.
My name is Mulyoowa. I'm an architectural designer with just over 4 years of content creation and platform management. And I'm really happy to be here.
Hi, my name is Janet Mugume. I am one of the co-founders of Bold in Africa. You've probably seen us at Kisementi. Come by. I'm also very happy to be here.
Kalango.
Hey, hi team.
Hi team. I'm Lilian Mbabazi, and I'm a singer, songwriter from Uganda. And just so happy to be here with you beautiful ladies.
Let's get into it. Kicking off with Beyonce's Blackest King album, which came out earlier this year. A lot of people were very excited about it. I don't know if any of us here is in the Beehive, but this was the first time personally that I've seen Beyonce be so heavily criticized. Michelle, I'm going to start with you. Where do we draw the line between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation?
I definitely think it comes down to the fact of whether or not you like the person.
Okay.
If you like an artist, you say, oh no, they're repping the culture. They're repping us, shout out to them. But if you don't really like the artist, you're going to be like, Or if you have more of a unbiased view on that artist or their content or their projects, you'll be like, let's read more into it. So I definitely think it's more on the audience and whether or not you like that person or the body of work that they produce.
Lilian, Beyonce referred to her album as a love letter to Africa. And there was a lot of criticism from the fact that it was just blanket, like you can't just say Africa because we're all so different.
Yeah.
As an a Ugandan artist, an East African artist, why is it, do you think, that we tend to be left out so much of such projects?
I think, first of all, we don't have the same platform as, say, the West African artists do or the South Africans. East Africa, you find that they usually pick like one person to represent East Africa each and every single time. So you find that even if you go for shows internationally, you find the same people who are representing East Africa, the same ones, all the time. You find the Eddie Kenzos and the who?
Diamond
The Diamond Platinums.
Yes.
But they don't dig deep into find out how much talent we have in East Africa, which is immense. We have a lot of talent. So for me, I don't know about that love letter because she needs to come and first of all find out who she's writing the letter to. Because it didn't reach some of us.
Yes.
We didn't feel that love. We're like, please. We've been wearing these African standards for how many years?
Yes.
And right now you want to make it seem like that one has made it cool. We've been rocking it. You guys have been standing with for a very long time. Both. And before all this Chitenge, or what do they call it, Ankara, started spreading around the rest of the world, we had already done that for a very long time.
Very true.
So I don't know about Beyonce writing us a letter.
You're not convinced.
I wasn't convinced.
Now, Janet, Bold was actually featured on Beyonce's Black Parade, which is a directory of Black and African-owned businesses. Yeah, I know that must have been amazing for you.
It was
From
one of the best days.
and a fan perspective. Have you come down to earth yet? That happened?
We're going to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I am a stan, a serious stan of the Queen. I believe I represent the African chapter. She sees this high five.
Carrying member of the high.
Listen, she can do no wrong. No, sorry, we were asking about like for our business. What did you? I can't tell you exactly how. We found out the same way everyone did. I got a text, congratulations on Beyonce's. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't understand. And then we saw it and it was really, I won't even lie, it was a fantastic feeling for us to, as a fan, but also as a business, to feel recognized and being put out there. There's endorsements you can get, and then there's a Beyonce endorsement. Like, girl, listen, we're still on a high. I'm super excited about that.
What do you think of the criticism? Because I haven't, I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched Blackest King, but I've seen, different shots of it. And I found it quite confusing as an African woman, because I know that there's Nigerian culture, there's South African culture, and even within those two countries, even in Uganda alone, our culture is so rich. So to get something and say it's African. So now, especially when I imagine, when you walk into Bold, there's so much variety. Right. Okay. So now, as a fan, much as you said she can do no wrong,
I know she can.
Do you understand like people's criticism of you can't be wearing like ashoke on on your head, and then you're wearing something
basically
Exactly.
First of all, even for us as Bold, we have to put out as much content from the different designers that we have. And I can tell you that is no small feat. Like, it is hard to find a way to represent every single person. So you have to find a way to merge them. In the same line of thinking, I feel like it's really asking a lot of her. I think she made it clear, because she put out a whole statement that time about how she knows it's a diverse culture. She's picked from what, first of all, she's able to know. You you don't know what you don't know. This is what she's exposed to. I hate to admit it, but Nigerian and I guess South African kind of represent us. They're the people that are out there. And I think she tried her level best, you guys. Like, woman came, she went to Ghana, she went to South Africa, she went to the places that she would know, picked up a bit of it, tried to merge it into a story. I know there's bits that she could, I guess, have done better, but I feel like if we're being 100% honest, there's no better person to try and sell our story or for it to even be heard in the slightest than her.
It's not her story to tell.
But she has an audience that I don't know if you'd ever be able to get.
Like for me, I look at a movie like, say, Black Panther. The way they try to bring tribes from people from different diverse cultures. Yeah, but you could not understand. One person is speaking in Zulu and Kiswahili.
The accents were confused.
You understand? Lupita, who is supposed to be East African, is playing a South African. She's using a South African accent. So for me, that thing gets really confusing. For me, like if you're trying to represent African culture,
we need to do better.
We need to do better. Yeah.
Michelle, maybe let me ask you: should we just be grateful that Afrobeats have finally entered the mainstream? Whether it's Beyoncé who does it or whether it's someone else, should we just be like, well, you know what? At least some African artists are featured on an album like that.
No, I don't think so. Just because I think we're such a happy people as Ubuntu. We're such happy people. Our culture, just our being, we're very happy people. And I don't think we need the Western gratification to be like, oh yeah, okay, because we've said this is great.
Yes.
You guys can feel even better about it. And I think it's nice that they're finally catching on and seeing that there's more to us than just terrible colonial history and sadness.
Kids
So I'm glad for them. But we've been like that time immemorial. So I don't think we need to base our happiness or appreciation based off of what the white man says. So I definitely feel like congratulations to them. So happy for them. That's great. We're also okay.
Yes. We're doing great. And like Lilian did say, it's not her story to tell. Much as Afrobeats have entered the mainstream, we've had artists on international stages for years. If you look at, let's say, Lady Smith Black Mbabazi or Miriam Makeba, from way back. But Lilian, let me ask you, as a musician, why is it that when it comes to Afrobeats, the focus tends to be on Western Africa, Southern Africa? Is it because as Uganda, we do not have a sound? Do we have a sound that you can identify and say, this is Ugandan music?
First of all, we have Chidandan. Yeah, we have different types of music that make us Ugandan. Chidandan is this beat you're going to hear every time you go to a club. Shiba can have an album full of just that one beat. That's a Chidandali sound I'm talking about. But it's difficult for us as Ugandans because even in the industry, we are not a unit. We are not united. We don't want to help each other. guys want to be, I am the king, I am the best of the best. No, we're in entertainment industry to teach and learn from each other. And if we have the solidarity that Nigerians, for example, have, you go to Nigerian clubs, and they're playing 100% Niger music. You know, Uganda, they want to listen to Nigerian music the whole entire night, or dance hall, or whatever it is.
Yes.
So we also don't support our people in the industry.
Remember, there was a time when a lot of Ugandan artists were singing predominantly in English.
Yes.
And then there was a switch. And I think that's when we really started to appreciate our own music. So as much as the industry, as in players within the industry, such as yourself, need to, like you said, uplift each other, I think also as Ugandans, we need to support our own. Yeah, like
Completely.
not wait for somebody to come and say.
Like, for example, I sing songs in English and Luganda, for example. Then you go somewhere and they tell you, we're in Banyo Luzungu. Like he sings in so much English. I'm like, but you understand the language.
Yeah.
What's wrong? It's just music. It's a way I communicate based. Maybe it's my best language to sing in.
Right.
Why should I be judged because I sing? I choose to sing in English.
Yes.
I have a question. It's a theory that I had because I've also thought about like so much Ugandan music that I hear and I'm obsessed with, and it won't translate anywhere else. Do you think, and it has to do with the languages that we speak in? Because Nigerians beat us in numbers. You know what I mean? Anywhere you go in this world, they are there. And they'll be speaking their language. Do you feel like we get held back like just by Uganda? Because really, even in Uganda alone, there's some people who
I think it's Uganda
don't
that's holding us
you don't think
back,
so?
to be honest. No, it's more of the fact that those guys have a bigger platform. Like I've always said, that they have a bigger platform, so it's easier for their music to reach, translate, and go to different places. They have a very organized music. What do they call it? Industry.
Yes.
Their copyright law is on point.
Right.
They're way ahead of us in so many things. We have been asking for the copyright law for a very, very long time because it protects us as artists, protects our intellectual property.
Yeah.
So because we also don't have that organization, I come back to the fact that there are so many players in the game who are eating and don't want other people to eat. So you find the industry is just a mess.
Yeah.
It's disorganized.
We've been at this for so long, but our own people are so focused on what everybody else is doing than trying to embrace and be like, we have this artist, they're small, but they're so great.
Yeah.
And so then you have a playlist that's not ours. It's top music that's international Western music.
Right.
And maybe just West African music as well, but not ours. So I feel like as a collective, we just need to more or less embrace our own people.
Right.
And whether or not if you feel like it's not for you, I still think you should back your own people.
Yeah.
Right.
So that, for example, when it comes to things like playlists that are international, people can be like, oh, look, there's this song by this artist. Let's talk to this artist or get them to come through and perform for this.
Yes.
But if you have no platform for people to see or listen to this content, there's no way it's going to translate across anywhere.
I think it's also a responsibility for these artists who actually make it to put these people on, to let them
That's
know
true.
what is in our country.
Right.
But because of this selfish mentality that we have as Ugandans, they want to be the ones who are
The only ones
the only one.
I think it's the most significant and the biggest thing that we can do as individuals is if you have an event going on and a photographer, your friend can curate, your friend is a runner, whatever it is, always put your people on. People will benefit.
Yes.
And whether or not it's going to benefit you entirely, you did a great thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you put people on.
Right.
So is it safe to say that, as artists, we're being held back by our own governments and governing bodies?
I'll speak for the artists. When these rules came out, I was like, do they even know the amount of time and money a musician puts into releasing just one song? You just because you see them playing on TV and everything, guys hustle for this kada, and they'll be like, I have my 500K, I'm going to make sure I bench this producer so I can have a hit. They bench there in the studios all hours of the night creating music. And you don't even have a body that supports these artists. And yet you want to control something you don't even know about. Like you don't know the production process. I don't even know what it's like for say photographers and videographers.
That's great.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's ridiculous. They need to first pay attention and find out more about our industry. That's why I'm glad these these guys, wacky benders, they're going to try and, make sure this law is not passed.
Yes.
It's going to hinder so many creatives, And for the government, we've been quarreling for that copyright law for how long? Then they send you from one ministry to another ministry.
Yeah.
You don't even know which ministry is yours. If it's in the industry, you don't know where you're supposed to go and report.
Yes.
So they also have to be held accountable before they start bringing all these laws. Yeah.
Janet, for you guys often, you support, of course, loads of creatives.
Right.
And there was even a time I remember there were CDs like at Tutule.
Yeah.
I saw my stuff there as well.
Any challenges with doing that in your own efforts to support?
Right. Kind of. Just like restrictions, I forget the name of the body, Uganda Music something, let me not lie. But just basically letting us know, we can't play it. I feel like they are working in favor of the artists though, because it's about like, they won't be earning, I guess, royalties. I don't know how the business works, but they're supposed to, I guess, earn some money whenever we play their music. So yeah, we had to stop that. But
did they give you an option? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying if in terms of royalties and them making money, they could just let you know that, okay, if you're going to play music, stream it from a platform.
Right,
Like they could give you an option of being like, okay,
that's
not organized.
so that they can get.
So we started. That's something that we chose to do, to use like a platform or whatever we do with this.
I think on the side of visual content creators, so photographers, and different things, I think we need, because I know so many, but I think we need a basis of some form of management or maybe some kind of hub, because I know different countries have different like unions or organizations where like, okay, you want a photographer, go to this place or call these people. They have a roster of 60 photographers who do different things. Right. You can request a portfolio, you can do a practice shoot, like different things. But we don't have that. And I think in terms of just there being some form of unity, so when laws want to be passed, they're passed through these bodies and changes can be made and it can be beneficial to everybody is what I think people need to work on, is some form of unison in the creative entertainment industry here. Because we have
too many thieves. So many thieves. Like we can't have an organization like that and think that we're so many artists, first of all.
Right.
Yeah, every day there's like a new artist who's like a panda or like a what. New names that are coming out every day. You guys, we don't have that organization. You can't tell me that you're going to find every single musician and account for when their music plays, because that system is not there.
And people, unfortunately, have been burnt so many times.
And the people at the top who you think you're going to trust are the ones who are chewing you there. Like I'll tell you, ever since they started collecting money for musicians, I have never received a penny. There was this rumor that they're going to give musicians 100 and something billion, 11 billion something. Where is the money?
Well, who knows?
To help them during this corona.
Down also.
I don't know where that is.
So just moving from, what Lilian said about the lack of existence of a body that can protect artists or even, promote their work. If we're to sort of try and look at it from a positive, because I know there's the Feather app where different artists can, like you sign up, you join the app, and then they can promote you and organize gigs and stuff.
What kind of art? Is it like audio?
Yes, it's mostly for singers and then like instrumentalists. At least from what I've seen, my experience with the app is that.
I mean, like I work a lot with Feza. Guys are always saying, Lilian, why do you play these days? But if we get a place like Feza where we know that we can enjoy live music and appreciate the art that people, put time into producing for you guys, will be a good way for us to do this, Same thing that they have been doing, this at home, beats at home thing.
Club beats.
It's really a very good way to promote artists. And this one even shows you who is a real singer and who's
Brilliant. Coming through with the I love it.
Please, guys, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. But yeah.
So, ladies, before I let you go, what would you say to, a young female Ugandan creative who is watching this right now and is looking at all of you? You're all accomplished in your fields. You've all been able to follow your dreams and make a success of it. What would you say to that one person who maybe has either difficult parents or doesn't know where to start or is just feeling a bit overwhelmed?
Mine is I feel like what's gotten me through is just remember, like, don't think too far in the future. Every little step like it actually is worth something. It means something. Just every day, I keep joking with Nuno, we're like, every day that those doors are open at Bold, we're like, woo, another day. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like, you just have to do the work. Like that's the only difference between something happening and it not happening.
Yeah.
Like, just do it. Do it and try and see what happens after that. But just don't not try because it won't happen. It's just, yeah.
First of all, whatever you're going to do, you have to be passionate about it because you cannot succeed. You cannot wake up every morning wanting to achieve something that you're not passionate about. So it's very important to be passionate about your art, about your, whatever you decide to do. Also patience, because this business, if you're not patient, you can lose your mind. You meet different people who different characteristics. You never know if the working relationship I may have with Michelle will be different from the same I have with Janet. So surround yourself with people who are going to uplift you, who are going to give you positive energy, because we face a lot of negative energy as women in whatever business that we do, so we have to make sure we have a solid team. And if you're a person who believes in God like I do, I believe prayer is very important in your life, in all your decisions that you make. Always trust in God. Yeah.
The first thing would be the main thing, which would be find your niche. Find that one thing that you're going to pursue and you're going to delve into and know that you can be the best. No matter if there's people around you who can be better than you or are better than you already, but be, if anything, the Beyoncé of those things, and ground yourself. Whether it's in your spirituality or your religion or just in the people you surround yourself with, ground yourself and know that you need to have a strong foundation in order to build something from that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, never stop learning.
Thank you.
Big fact.
I was going to say something like
Never
never
stop
stop
learning.
learning.
I find musicians, for example, who feel like they have reached there.
And they don't need to hone their craft or
They don't rehearse.
Yes.
Like me, I'm surprised by how many musicians don't go for rehearsal. You can't do something if you've not rehearsed it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Wow, ladies, I can't thank you enough.
Girl, it's been lit. It's so fun.
I hope that Beehive is not going to come for
Let me
us.
tell you. Hey, don't say I didn't warn you.
Once again, thank you to all of my guests for joining us on the Tutule show. And thank you for watching. The conversation does not end here. So please be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms, which are all along here. And you can continue the conversation. Until then, my name is Seema. I've been your host, and I'll catch you next time on the Tutule show.